I imagine that there's lots of people, perhaps that have been like me previously. I've never been really anti-royal, but I've kind of been on the fence, really. And I've probably never really spent that much time thinking about it. But I've got to say, the events of the last few days, they've really engaged me with the royal family. They've given me a lot of respect for the royal family. I look now at Charles, a man that's just lost his mum, straight into work, straight into duty, putting his country before his own feelings, his own sense of grief. And I hugely respect that. So for me personally, and I wonder at home, by the way, are you like me, and were you in the same camp as me? I suspect that a lot of middle ground people have been converted.
Well, it is one of the great attractions of the royal family that it is the ultimate family. Very few families where we know the names of a mother, her daughter, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren. And I agree with you. I've just been to Green Park on the way to the studio here to see the huge piles of flowers left for the Queen. And there's a really extraordinary feeling there. I mean, I'm a monarchist anyway, but even if you weren't, there's something very unusually inspiring. People are very serious, but there's a tremendous friendliness. This crowd is not leaving a single piece of rubbish, I notice. And everyone, including very irritable people, including myself, they don't mind these big crowds. I normally hate crowds, but actually people are so good-natured to each other. I haven't heard a single cross word. I've been in London all this past week. And I think even if you aren't a monarchist, it's a completely remarkable occasion, particularly if, like me, you've been a Londoner all your life. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah, I said this a couple of days ago, and I got criticised because what I was saying is that being a Northerner, I do like to chat to people. I like to make small talk. I like to look at people.
Yeah. You're not
strangers.
like us grumpy Londoners.
Yeah, but I said that, and I said, actually, I'm noticing that over the last few days, people are getting eye contact, people are smiling, people are, like, just being good-natured and kind. And I got a lot of criticism saying, oh, that you're talking nonsense, Michelle. Londoners have always been friendly and open. I'm thinking...
No, you're quite right. In fact, I stood by the curb when the Queen's hearse went by a couple of nights ago in Hyde Park, just near the studio. And I'm normally very grumpy and unfriendly, but I started chatting to the people on either side, just almost naturally, and we had a chat. We were waiting for an hour, and it is very unusual. That doesn't normally happen.
Yeah, we have so few opportunities now to have these sorts of collective experiences, especially after the past 2 years. We're expressly discouraged from having collective experiences. I think there is that hunger and that drive for something that we can hold in common, that we can reach out. I spent the whole day today in cafes working, and yeah, that's the impression that I got. As I was walking down the street, there were tables that were sat, you know, people who obviously were not in the same party were talking to each other, and they were all talking about the Queen. And at the cafe that I was sitting at, they were all talking about the Queen, and they were strangers talking to each other and debating things like, you know, hospital appointments being cancelled on Monday. And they were saying, well, the Queen wouldn't have wanted that. You know, that's not clearly what she had in mind, was not to cancel people's treatment, that sort of thing. And it was like people talking about political issues, but in a very jovial way, and we haven't seen that with all of the sort of tribalism and everybody at their throats. I feel like people want that kind of collectiveness, and you can feel that. There's that energy in the air.